letter of credit process is very interesting and complex in complete transactions cycle. But uniform rules for customs and practice for documentary credits or UCP explain the whole process very clearly. UCP latest version is ICC publication number 600 and 2007 revision. Welcome back to Continuous Journey on UCP 600 articles. Today, we are diving deep into a crucial topic for anyone involved in international trade and finance, Article 15 of the UCP 600. It looks very simple, but it is very important to grab in collaboration with other articles and ISBP as well. If you are dealing with letters of credit, you absolutely need to understand this article. It's all about what constitutes a complying presentation. So you should take note and let's break it down together. First off, what is UCP 600? It stands for the Uniform Customs and Practice for Documentary Credits, and it's a set of rules published by the International Chamber of Commerce, or ICC. These rules are the global standard for letters of credit, which are essential for ensuring sellers get paid and buyers receive the goods they ordered. Now let's focus on the star of our show, Article 15, titled Complying Presentation. This article is the heart of the document examination process. It tells banks exactly what they need to look for when they receive documents from a seller. Article 15 is the core principle. It states that when a bank receives a presentation, it must examine it to determine, on the basis of the documents alone, whether or not they appear on their face to constitute a complying presentation. What does on their face mean? It means the bank isn't a detective. They don't investigate the actual shipment or the quality of the goods. Their job is strictly to check the documents against the terms of the letter of credit and the UCP 600 rules. If the documents look correct and consistent, that's what matters. And what's a complying presentation? Article 2 of the UCP 600 defines it for us. It means a presentation that is in accordance with the terms and conditions of the credit, the applicable provisions of the UCP, and international standard banking practice. It's a three-part test: the LC, the UCP rules, and standard banking practices. All three must be met. Let's imagine a simple scenario. A letter of credit requires a commercial invoice and a bill of lading. The seller presents these two documents. The bank's first step under Article 15 is to see if the documents on their face match the requirements. Does the invoice describe the goods as 1,000 premium cotton shirts, just like the LC says? Is the bill of lading consigned to the order of the issuing bank as stipulated? If so, we're on the right track. Article 15 also works hand in hand with Article 14, Standard for Examination of Documents. Article 14 gives banks 5 banking days to examine the documents and decide if they comply. It also clarifies that data in one document doesn't need to be identical to data in another, as long as it doesn't conflict. For instance, an invoice might say FOB Shanghai Port, while the bill of lading just says FOB Shanghai. This isn't a conflict, they're consistent. But if the invoice said FOB Shanghai and the bill of lading said CIF New York, that's a major conflict and the bank would find a discrepancy. Now let's look at Article 15b. It says when a confirming bank determines that a presentation is complying, it must honor or negotiate and forward the documents to the issuing bank. Here, to implement the directives and the responsibilities of the banks in the cycle must follow the strict rule of sub-Article 14b. This is a strict deadline. It doesn't mean the bank must take 5 days. They can decide faster. So, sub-Article 15b says that very first, if the documents presented to the confirming bank and are the ones stipulated in the credit and they comply with all the rules we've discussed, the bank must honor. Honor means to pay at sight, to incur a deferred payment undertaking, or to accept a bill of exchange, depending on what the credit calls for. Let's use an example to tie this all together. Suppose a Vietnamese garment exporter has an LC from a US buyer and confirmed the LC from a Singaporean bank that was issued by a US bank. The LC requires a commercial invoice, a packing list, and a bill of lading. The exporter presents these documents to their bank in Vietnam, which then forwards them to the confirming bank in Singapore. The Singaporean bank receives the documents on a Monday. Their document examination team gets to work. According to Article 15, they lay out the documents and compare them to the LC and UCP 600. They check the description of goods, the shipping dates, the ports, and all other details. Let us say they find that the bill of lading shows the goods were shipped 5 days after the latest shipment date mentioned in the LC. This is a clear discrepancy. Because they found this discrepancy within their 5 banking day window, so they can refuse to honor. They would then need to follow the procedure in Article 16, which involves sending a single notice of refusal to the presenter, listing all the discrepancies found. But what if the Singaporean bank, all the documents as well as the terms and conditions of the LC are complied with, maintaining the UCP rules and ISBP in consideration? In that case, the confirming bank must honor. Remember that honor or negotiation is a binding upon the confirming bank according to Article 8 of UCP 600 when a complying presentation is made. According to this sub-article, upon honor or negotiation of a complying presentation, the confirming bank will forward the documents to the issuing bank. Let us now dive deep into sub-article 15C. It says, when a nominated bank determines that a presentation is complying and honors or negotiates, it must forward the documents to the confirming bank or issuing bank. When nominated bank determines the presentation is complying, it may honor or negotiate. It is optional for the nominated bank that is not a confirming bank. If the nominated bank, that is not a confirming bank, decides to honor or negotiate, it will perform its duty accordingly. After performing its role as agreed, the nominated bank will forward the documents to the confirming bank, if any, or to the issuing bank. The nominated bank must follow the instruction of 5 banking day rules of UCP 600. For example, a Chinese exporter is shipping electronic items of large quantity to an importer in United Kingdom. An issuing bank in the United Kingdom has opened a letter of credit with availability with any bank in China. The exporter, who is the beneficiary of the letter of credit, has chosen the Bank of China, Shanghai, as its nominated bank. Bank of China has not confirmed the LC. The exporter, after shipment, presented a set of documents required by the letter of credit with Bank of China. Bank of China, upon receiving the documents, generally checked the documents and forwarded directly to the issuing bank. In this case, despite the nominated bank has not honored or negotiated, it has fulfilled the function of the nominated bank. In another scenario, suppose the Bank of China scrutinized the documents presented by the exporter, has honored or negotiated according to the LC terms and conditions, then forwarded the documents to the issuing bank in United Kingdom. It has also fulfilled its function of the nominated bank as well as the negotiating bank. Merely scrutiny and forwarding the documents to the issuing bank does not constitute honor or negotiation. The ISBP is a companion guide to the UCP. So, any related to disputes or irrelevancy must be tuned in accordance with the ISBP rules applicable. To summarize, Article 15 is the engine of the roles of banks upon complying presentation of documents. First, what and how the issuing bank will honor a complying presentation. Second, how the confirming bank will honor or negotiate a complying presentation and claim the reimbursement from the issuing bank by forwarding the documents to the issuing bank. Third, how a nominated bank, that is not a confirming bank, will honor or negotiate a complying presentation and forward the documents to the confirming bank, if any, or to the issuing bank, or simply examine the documents and forward those to the confirming bank, if any, or to the issuing bank. Understanding Article 15 is not just for bankers. If you are an exporter, knowing this rule helps you understand your rights. You know that if you present correct documents, you have a right to be paid promptly. You also know that the bank can't sit on your documents indefinitely. If you're an importer, you understand the process your bank follows to protect your interests, ensuring they only pay when the documents match what you asked for in the LC. It's a beautiful piece of commercial law, honed over decades to facilitate global trade. It creates trust in a system where buyers and sellers are often thousands of miles apart and may have never met. The clarity and predictability offered by rules like Article 15 are what make the letter of credit such a durable and reliable tool in international commerce. I hope this detailed breakdown has been helpful. Navigating the world of trade finance can be complex. But by understanding the core rules, you can protect your business and trade with confidence. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you would not miss our next deep dive into trade finance. Hope to see you in the next video on such topics. Remain focused and stay safe.